Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. You know, it's been quite a long time since I got to talk about the beloved and zany Looney Tunes, whom I believe are the most legendary characters from Warner Brothers. Special props to Friz Freleng and David DePatie for creating these legendary cartoons. And believe me, ever since I was little, I loved watching their hilarious, wacky, and fun animated shorts from time to time, either on VHS, Cartoon Network, or even on Max. Plus, I'm glad that they influenced other beloved animated shows like Tiny Toon Adventures, Animaniacs, and the Looney Tunes show. Also, for those who don't follow me, in the past, I did blog several Looney Tune films like Back in Action, How I Spent My Vacation, the Space Jam films, and Rabbit's Run. But not too long ago, thanks to a heads up from Animation Lookback's Matt Brunet, aka Animat, I got to learn about a recent theatrical animated Looney Tunes film that's said to be the return of traditional hand-drawn animation for the first time in, well, so many years. And that's the movie that I'll be blogging today. Released on March 14th, 2025, this is The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. So, on for the plot of the movie. The film follows housemates Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, who try to keep their home from being condemned. After getting a job at the local bubblegum factory, they discover a sinister alien scheme that turns humans into zombies when they chew gum. Against all odds, the two, along with Petunia Pig, are determined to save their town and the entire world. That is, if they don't drive each other crazy in the process. So, what did I think? Well, ever since Animat mentioned this on his top 5 best and worst animated films of 2023, I was really excited. And after seeing the movie in theaters with some friends, it did not disappoint. I love this movie big time. And to further explain why I do, let's move on to Mustang notes. In 2019, while working on the series Looney Tunes cartoons for streaming service Max, series developer Peter Braungart was asked if he had any ideas for a new Looney Tunes feature film. After considering several genre settings, Braungart eventually settled on the premise of a sci-fi B-movie from the 50s, in the vein of films such as Invaders of the Body Snatchers and The Day the Earth Stood Still. He also knew he wanted the film to center on Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, acknowledging the characters' previous appearances together in the science fiction-themed Merry Melody short films Duck Dodgers and Rocket Squad. In September 2021, it was reported that a film based on the Looney Tunes cartoon series was in development at Warner Brothers Animation, focusing on Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. Kevin Costello, who previously wrote Warner Animation Group's Tom and Jerry, which was released earlier that year, was announced as the writer, with Braungart serving as executive producer and director. In addition to Costello and Braungart, 9 storyboard artists worked on the screenplay and ultimately received writing credits. Warner Brothers Animation, Tonic DNA, Powerhouse Animation, and Snipple Animation worked on the film, with Titmouse Inc. providing animation for one sequence. The character designs were modeled after the style of Looney Tunes animator Bob Clampett, while the design of the Invader, the film's main antagonist, was inspired by Invasion of the Saucermen in 1957. Joshua Moshier, who previously worked on the Looney Tunes cartoons, composed the film's score. Moshier enjoyed working with Braungart on the project, as the director was supportive of his creative choices. Moshier was tasked with translating the sound of the classic Looney Tunes shorts to a modern cinematic presentation and exploring the relationship of Daffy and Porky in the themes. Now, in my eyes, it felt so good to see a fully hand-drawn animated film in theaters after so many years, and it was absolutely a lot of fun sharing this experience with a few close friends. Plus, believe it or not, I managed to get a special movie poster from the cinema, and I hope to get it framed ASAP. One of the things I loved while watching this film was that it contained multiple references to classic Looney Tunes shorts, characters, and directors. For example, Farmer Jim, the pair's adopted father, resembles Tom Thumb's father from the 1940s short Tom Thumb in Trouble. During the opening montage of Father Jim raising Daffy and Porky, Porky reads a book about a goat named Gabby, whom was a character who briefly appeared in 3 classic shorts as Porky's sidekick. Also, during the same montage, Daffy uses an invisible tricycle like in the short Porky and Daffy. Another Easter egg from that short is the part where Porky wakes up and tries to wake up Daffy, who is sleeping in a tub. Daffy's piggy bank from the Great Piggy Bank Robbery appears. The montage of Daffy and Porky looking for a job includes the classic Porky and Daffy logo and title cards, with the screen shifting to a 4:3 aspect ratio for the sequence. Porky and Daffy get a brief job at Bean's Brew, which features beans in its logo. A couple of the shops in the movie are named after classic Looney Tunes directors like Clampett's Diner, which references Bob Clampett. Porky and Daffy wear their hats from Baby Bottleneck when they get a job at the chewing gum factory. The hotel guest from the 1947 short A Pest in the House appears as a park goer. Petunia's house features pictures of her dog Fluffnums and Porky wearing his hat from Porky's Romance. Daffy tells the audience it's time for this duck to go amok, which references the title of the short Duck Amuck. And finally, before Daffy starts smashing the novelty teeth, an audience member pops up based on a gag used in Daffy Duck and Egghead. Plus, in my opinion, while there is a lot of hilarious moments, there are also a couple scary moments like this, and this. And a couple of my favorite scenes include the part where Porky and Petunia team up together to spray people with a rotten egg extract in order to make them spit out the alien gum and burn it while in midair, while rocking out to REM's End of the World song. And when Porky, Petunia, and Daffy try to save the Earth from an approaching asteroid by using exploding bubble gum and wind-up novelty teeth. And that's all I got for Mustang notes. So, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Let's start with our main characters, Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, both voiced by Eric Bauza, who not only voiced several other Looney Tune characters, but he also got to voice In a Cat in Paris, The Book of Life, When Marnie Was There, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. But he also got to voice Woody Woodpecker in those infamous live-action films. Anyway, in this film, Porky and Daffy have been raised by Farmer Jim all the way to their adulthood, and while they promise to always stick together after Farmer Jim left them, they hope to repair their house after failing a home inspection. To me, Porky is still the same stuttering porkster we all love from the Looney Tunes shorts, and we should all remember that Porky was the very first famous Looney Tune character ever created before Bugs Bunny. Also, during this movie, Porky is not afraid to be serious and put his foot down. As for Daffy, well, I think he sticks out the most due to him stumbling upon an alien plot regarding the Goody Gum Factory's super strongberry gum flavor, which turns those who chew it into zombies. Plus, every time Daffy goes berserk and cuckoo, it makes me quack up into laughter. Also, I must mention that when I was little, I remember that the very first Looney Tunes short that I ever watched starring Daffy was Daffy Duck and the Dinosaur, which was featured on a certain dinosaur documentary VHS. Sadly, I can't remember which one since I haven't watched it for so many years, and it was one that my grandma owned before she passed away in November 2023. Next we have Petunia Pig, voiced by Candy Milo, who got to voice In My Life as a Teenage Robot, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Chalk Zone, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, along with Final Fantasy X and X-2, the fourth American Tail film, and of course Ralph Bakshi's Cool World. In this movie, Petunia Pig is a flavor scientist who works at the Goody Gum Factory, aiming to make the perfect gum flavor. In my opinion, while I don't really remember seeing too many shorts featuring her, I think she's a cute character, especially with that bob-styled hair. And of course, Candy Milo's voice performance is absolutely adorable. Plus, I think she's very resourceful and clever. Also, I think she makes a sweet love interest for Porky. Our next character is the scientist, voiced by Fred Tatasciore, who not only voiced Kevin Flynn and Clue in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance and Bruce Banner in several animated Marvel projects, but he also got to voice in Disney's Enchanted, Tim Burton and Shane Akers' 9, and of course, The Star. Now, the thing that I can say about this character is that when the movie begins, he discovers an asteroid heading toward Earth, and right when he was about to report it, another alien object catches his attention, leading to him becoming brainwashed for a majority of the film, doing the invader's bidding by pouring green goo into the gum supply. Thankfully, after coming to his senses, the scientist helps Porky, Daffy, and Petunia save the Earth from the approaching asteroid. Finally, we come to the film's sort of villain, the Invader, voiced by Peter MacNicol, whom I remember from Dragon Slayer, Ghostbusters 2, The Addams Family Values, along with Mel Brooks' Dracula Dead and Loving It, The Secret of NIMH 2, Recess School's Out, and of course 2012's Battleship movie. This character is the member of an alien species who commands his own forces aboard his battleship to the Earth with the intent to take it over. Once at his reach, the invader uses Petunia Pig's newly invented bubblegum product mixed with green alien goo to brainwash the planet's population into blowing a big bubble to encase the Earth. However, after being thwarted by Daffy, Porky, and Petunia, the invader reveals that he was only trying to protect the Earth from an approaching asteroid, as the Earth is the only source of his favorite drink, boba tea. In my opinion, I think the invader is a pretty interesting character, not only because he starts out over the top, vicious, maniacal, malicious, and paranoid, but he's also the very first theatrical Looney Tune villain to come from a fully animated film that includes no live-action characters nor scenarios. Plus, he's also the first Looney Tune movie villain to redeem himself and have noble goals. Other voice actors in the film include Lorraine Newman, Wayne Knight, Andrew Cuscino, Kimberly Brooks, Keith Ferguson, and Carlos Alazraqui. And now for my final words. Overall, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, has got to be one of the best animated films of 2025 so far, up there with Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. The hand-drawn animation is fantastic. I like that it features classic comedy and Easter eggs from the beloved Looney Tunes shorts. Porky and Daffy are great and fun main characters. Petunia is a cute, smart, resourceful, and sweet supporting character. And the Invader is a pretty interesting villain, and I thought his plan to brainwash the human race just to save Earth from an asteroid was a pretty shocking twist. Also, I think the voice actors do a spectacular job, and I can definitely tell that they were having a lot of fun. And the musical score by Joshua Moshier is great to listen to. If you folks are diehard Looney Tunes fans or fans of traditional hand-drawn animation, then be sure to go see this movie in theaters while you still have a chance. And I pray that more 2D animated films will be released in theaters in the future. As for my rating, I'll give this movie a perfect rating of 100%. Also, I'm really hoping to get this movie on Blu-ray this coming May. Well, that's all, folks. Be sure to join me for my next blog, where I look at the first half of a beloved Broadway stage musical set in Oz before Dorothy Gale dropped in. Mustang Power.